Hey everybody, how's it going? This is going to be a follow-up to the video we did 10 days ago. 10 days ago we did a snow clearing video with the Kubota 5740 and we had a lot of questions. There was so many questions, in fact, and so many comments I couldn't even answer them all. It's there's over 40,000 views on it there now, but I'm going to try to do this video and try to address some of the issues that people were having with the video. So we're going to head outdoors and I'm going to explain it to you. So I'm going to turn the camera. Okay, let's head out. And we shall see. Okay, as you can see, all the snow that we did have is pretty well all gone. And believe it or not, it was gone probably 2 days after the storm. It took it down this much. I mean, the snow here was up to there. I'll put a picture in the, I'll slide a picture in here now. So anyway, the tractor is in that first shelter. For anybody's wondering, they're made by Shelter Logic. This particular one here has the commercial cover on it. So let's start off. People said, well, okay, how come you didn't use the snowblower? Well, that particular storm, before it even started, we had 10 hours of freezing rain and ice pellets that fell first. Now, in this area of Newfoundland, that could mean it could change the rain, or it could change the snow, or just do nothing and just stay at ice pellets. Nobody figured we were going to have as much as we had, although some meteorologists did call for 50 centimeters, which we ended up getting. So fellas would say, well, why didn't you use the plow? Well, the snow here was 4 feet deep. I even had trouble getting to the shelter from down there. Then fella said, well, why didn't you use a snow bucket? Well, over there, folks, there's a snow bucket. Now, another word for a snow bucket is a light material bucket. And when your snow has water in it, that's no longer considered light material, because that bucket over there is double the capacity of the OEM 5740 bucket. The blade is made by Arctic Snowplows, Canadian made. Unbelievable how well they are. As a matter of fact, that's a new one designed for a skid steer. And over there, buried in the snow, is one that I used on a 1993 GMC pickup truck. I bought it brand new, then converted it over to the skid steer. And of course, that was buried. Now, fellas that say, well, how come you didn't use the snowblower? One guy said, I'm 35 years in the business, you're doing it all wrong. Well, I guess I can't really blame you for saying that, because technically I could have done it different, but this time I couldn't have done it different. That garage up there is almost 70 feet long, and the tractor usually stays in the garage on the other side where the big snowdrift was, okay? But what you didn't know was 7 years ago we started doing designs for tractors, designing accessories, especially for Kubota. And lately we've been doing it for, let's just say, other manufacturers in the automotive industry. And we have a machine in our shop now that's in the space that the 5740 usually goes in. So what happens is, during a storm, I would get out, go in the shop, sit in the cab, push the button, open the door, the automatic door, make a sweep, come back, put it in the shop, and do it again later on. That was not possible this time, because this time we ended up with a storm that we Well, I haven't seen it in 40 years living here. But here's the problem. That was the problem. The problem is it was a 48-hour storm, okay? And the wind was coming from the north. So in other words, the wind was hitting this dead on. Now, you come out here in 100-kilometer-hour winds, and you unzip that front cover. First of all, you got to try to unzip the cover in 100-kilometer-hour winds. Then if you're lucky enough to get it up, well, now you got to worry about the wind totally taking the shelter, pulling it out of the ground. Now, it's into the ground 4 feet. But still, 100-kilometer-hour winds on that, that's like a sailboat. And it's really, really dangerous to open that because there's a pipe going on the bottom. And at 100-kilometer-hour winds with zero visibility, I could not get the tractor out. So when I couldn't get the tractor out, I said, you know what? I'm going to wait till the storm is over. And I think that was the right thing to do. It was a smart thing to do. The only thing I risked not doing was I probably risked damaging the loader or damaging the tractor, which I didn't. Kubotas don't damage. They love snow. They growl at it. So up there is where I had to go. And of course in the front of that shop was where the snowdrift was, approximately 11 feet. And anyway, you know, all's well ends well. I ended up getting the job done. And of course 24 hours later, then we have the monsoons come, rain, and it pretty well took 80% of the snow again. So fellas will say, well, okay, how come you didn't use the snowblower? Well, again, if you watched the whole video, you would have heard me explain. I didn't use the snowblower because remember, we had 10 hours of ice pellets and freezing rain. And when you have ice pellets and freezing rain, and you take your snowblower and you put it into that stuff, I'm going to tell you, you lose your traction, you lose the, I guess, the capacity of your snowblower, and you pretty well lose your mind, because when they plug something terrible. That fellow says, well, you know what, mine never plugs and all that bullshit. Well, I can tell you something right now. Whoever says they got a snowblower that never plugs, that's not the first lie they ever told. So I've been at this, well, I had 20,000 hours operating heavy equipment, and I'm not talking about small stuff. I'm talking about open pit mining, the biggest stuff that you could sit in. And then I came here, and then we got into the small Kubotas. And so I know what I'm talking about. You might not agree with it, but I challenge anybody to match me in these conditions. This is a whole different ball game when it comes to snow. We don't get very much powder snow here. So, in a nutshell, that's what it is. I know some people were upset too. They said, oh, we don't like the music in the background. Well, you know, we had 40,000 views and 4 people complained. Now, is that any reason to change the way you do things when you got 40,000 people looking at it and 4 complained? I don't think so. But anyway, I do appreciate you looking at our video. I only kind of done it just to show you how much snow we had. But, you know, when you put up videos on YouTube these days, you're open to all kinds of critique. And of course, ye armchair specialist, you're never wrong. But anyway, for the guys who left the nice comments, we appreciate it. To the guys who's always been around watching us, we appreciate you being here. And hey, you know what? It's going to be a nice day, I think. Anyway, at least it's not snowing, and it's not raining, and it's not blowing crazy. It is blowing some. So if you get a chance, you can check out our website at specialtyrepairscustommods.com. Give us a thumbs up if you want to. And if you haven't, subscribe. Because, hey, you know what? This video is kind of give us an extra bit of breath that we can we might want to do some more videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Everybody be good to each other, and God bless.